Good afternoon, guys. It's Jim from JAGfx.com. It's Tuesday, the 24th of January 2017. This is just a weekly trade analysis video, obviously. So it's currently about 3 p.m. on Tuesday as I'm recording this, and we'll just go to the news straight up. And at 4:30 p.m. local, remember I'm in Vietnam, so it's based on Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh, whichever way you look at it. 4:30 p.m. Great British Pound. We've got the EU membership court ruling, which may affect European type pairs, especially the Great British Pound, possibly even the Euro or the Swiss franc. So just be aware of that, and that's about an hour and a half. By the time I get all this up, it'll be about an hour. Let's go to the charts. Alright, remember we're on the daily and the 4-hour charts these days, and up here on the right you will see if it's a daily or 4-hour. I'll tag all my charts so you know where we're at. So first up, we'll start with the Aussie New Zealand daily. Currently in a sell here. You can see where I got in on this red line. It's a bit hard to see at the moment. There's my stop up here. The vertical lines represent the candle I took the entry on. It went up a bit and came down, and I'm still in it. It's not looking that flash at the moment, but it's still a valid sell signal, so we just hold on that for the moment. Let's just switch to the 4-hour on the same pair. As you can see, I've made notes here, still in the sell on the daily. Look, I've marked these green trend lines in, and I just generally put them in when I start seeing divergence forming. It doesn't necessarily mean it has formed. It just, I would need like a blue dot under here on the QMP, and obviously a blue dot on the MACD Platinum. So it just gives me a heads up that I know there's possibly divergence coming. And I'm pretty sure I was in a buy on this yesterday and got stopped out. So be it. Let's go to the Aussie USD. This is the daily. Not in any trades at the moment. I was stopped out in a 4-hour sell trade. I still think this is going to go to the downside. The grey vertical line just gives me an indication that there's a red dot on MACD Platinum. Look how far it is above the 0 level. It's starting to roll over. It's a nice trend line. It's been a nice parabolic sort of rise up. It's gone through the MAs. The MAs are sort of a bit flat, mixed by looks. I'm looking for it to roll over and come to the downside, but just because I think that doesn't necessarily mean it will happen, but that's my plan. And as you can see by the 4-hour chart on the same pair, we have got divergence, big divergence, regular bearish divergence. I've taken a couple. I think I've definitely taken one sell on this already, possibly two, and been stopped out on both. Look at this. There's this same sort of similar trend line, but this is on the 4-hour, going up nicely. Now it's just breaking through the trend line now. MACD's just about turned down. I've got a new candle in less than 2 hours now. They may get a red dot here, and I may get a red dot up here. If that's the case, then I'll probably take the sell again. I'm committed now to the sell, so I'm going to keep on taking them. Right, let's switch to the Swiss franc Japanese yen. I'm going to swap this pair out. It moves. The correlation with the Euro yen and the Swiss franc yen is pretty close. So, and I'm also running an EA on this same pair, so it sort of confuses you guys with the extra trades on you. But at the moment, this is the daily chart on that pair. Until it's finished, it'll still be on my profile. So I'm currently in a buy at the blue line here. You can see the blue dot here, it bounced off the MAs, etc. You can read the notes there. There's big hidden bullish divergence. It was a pretty good setup actually, and I took it. It went up a little bit and then dropped down. So we'll switch to the 4-hour on the same pair. As I said, I'm swapping this out. Now we were in a sell. We had good divergence, the bearish divergence at the red trend lines there, nice and tight. Took the sell. Came down. I think I took about I closed 0.01, and I've moved my stop to break even, and now you can see it's heading up slowly. Again, I've drawn the green potential bullish divergence lines on the chart. If we get a blue dot down here and a blue dot here, then we'll just ride the buy out on the daily, and we'll be stopped out on the sell on the 4 hour, and it be no damage done, which is good. Let's switch to the euro pound daily. Nothing happened in the daily. Look, there was a sell signal up here, but this red dot on the QMP, red dot on the MACD platinum. Technically it's a sell signal, but geez, just about on the MAs. It's just an ugly looking chart all around too, so I didn't take it on the daily. And we'll just switch over to the 4 hour. Now I did take one up here on the 4 hour, which is too good to not take on this red line here. I've already closed out half of it, and now my stop's right down here, so it's locking in profit. Again, more green trend lines and just potential bullish divergence if we do get the blue dots. And as you can see, prices bounced off nicely off the 240 LMA, but this is the euro and the pound, so there'll be no trades taken until that EU membership votes in. But it might just bounce here and head up. That'd be nice. I would probably take the buy there. Let's euro Japanese yen, euro yen daily. I'm in the buy on the daily. As you can see, it's pretty much the same as this Swiss franc Japanese yen. Came down, bounced off the MAs nicely, blue dot, hidden bullish divergence, and it's just gone up, pulled down, now it's going up again. So we switched to the 4 hour on the same pair. Again, took the sell up here, very similar on that divergence, the red trend lines. Again, we've got the green trend lines, potential bullish divergence. I was in a sell for 0.02, closed half down here somewhere. Now I've got a stop in place up here, and hopefully if it just rockets up, it'll be great, because I'll lose nothing on the 4 hour and gain on the daily. So that's the plan. All right, let's switch to the pound New Zealand. Again, this will be a pair that's affected by the EU. There was a good sort of bullish divergence here, and a buy signal on this blue dot here, and confirmed, the blue dots all lined up nicely. I didn't take it only because this chart's come down, had to spike up, basically gone across and straight down. It's just now it's heading up towards MAs. I just didn't like the whole setup, hence I didn't take the trade. It's on the Great British Pound New Zealand daily. Switch to the 4 hour. I've just left my orange vertical line here. That was a sell signal I took, and it was stopped out. Now this has still got potential. I've drawn a trend line across the bottom here. Generally when I draw these aqua coloured trend lines, they're just an indication of a trend line itself. The red and the green ones are normally relate to divergence. Obviously red for bearish and green for bullish. So in this case, I've drawn a red trend line across the top and on MACD and price, and that represents possible bearish divergence on this pair. We'll need a red dot up here. I want to look for a break of that trend line. I'll wait for the UK news, and if it heads down, we'll take the sell. It's with the MAs. All right, USD Canada, the loonie as they call it. On the daily, I'm in a buy. Big candle here, blue dot, based on the regular bullish divergence, the green trend lines, you can see them, broke through that nice trend line down. So it's been moving pretty nicely. I say probably every video, but the Canadian daily chart is not a bad chart to trade actually. So took the buy, went up a bit, then came down. Still technically in a buy signal. I'm going to switch over to the 4 hour. And I was in a sell on the 4 hour. I had this regular bearish divergence, pretty tight, just on the same sort of area. Took the sell, price came down sort of into the MAs, didn't really crack them. I went in with 0.03. I've closed 0.01 already, and my stop is not at break even, it's just on this previous high here. So I'll just keep an eye on that. If I get a blue dot on the MACD platinum, I will bring that stop probably down to inside the red line just to completely lock in some little bit of profit. Not much, but these 4-hour charts, I'm just sort of, I'll just switch back to daily. I'm sort of protecting these daily positions a bit on the 4-hour charts, so because it takes a bit longer sometimes for a daily position to actually get any sort of traction or any momentum. So in the meantime, I'm able to get a few pips just to protect the downside on the 4-hour charts, and that seems to be what's happened with a lot of these trades where I've been long one and short the other. I know it can be a little bit confusing, and not everyone can do it depending on your jurisdiction, but suits me just fine. Alright, now these are the pairs. As I said, I'm ditching the Swiss franc Japanese yen. I'm going to replace it with a Canadian yen, CAD JPY. Now that will give me out of my 8 currencies I trade, I'm actually dropping the Swiss franc completely off the list. So there'll be no Swiss franc pairs, which is not really a big deal because the euro sort of does the same thing anyway. And there'll be now 2 pairs involving both the yen and 2 pairs involving both the Canadian dollar, which basically means all the 7 remaining currencies will be represented twice once I ditch the Swiss franc Japanese yen. So looking at that, geez, they don't roll off the tongue very well, these Canadian Japanese yen pairs. The daily, pretty hard to tell, but it's coming down at the moment. It hasn't been a decent signal for a while. Could have taken that buy there, but it didn't look that good. So now we're coming back into the MA. So at the moment, I'm just waiting. Ideally, a buy signal down here would be nice, and we'll see what happens. So we just switch to the 4-hour chart, and there was a buy signal in this area down here, and because I've just opened the charts, I'm not really had a good look at it. There's possibly, you could say there's divergence there, but across these bottoms here, it's all very tight and it's pretty level there. And I'll just put the crosshairs on. So yeah, look, no. So it's coming down. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. There's a big trend line there also. I could probably tighten that trend line up a bit, but it's just early days for this pair, so I'm just watching it. Now I know a few guys watch gold, so I've got the gold chart on my profile here. Now I did say a while back that there's a nice, I've marked it here, pardon me, this red vertical line and this red horizontal line as a sell signal, and the stop would have been just above that somewhere, and it looks like it would have just held so far, and basically I said it was going to go down. It's obviously gone against me straight away, but this would be a classic for a trend line break. If it was stopped out, you could easily quite easily draw a trend line in there somewhere, tidy it up a bit, but you get the idea. So it's for you gold bugs out there that like trading gold. I was going to look at it, but I sort of haven't got around to it yet. So because it does move nicely, but it is greatly affected by news, etc. So that's it, guys. We'll just look at the pairs. If I've got them up here, here's my refer to my Facebook post, and it's the Go Markets Daily, the sheet down the bottom left. That's the main sheet I'm using at the moment. If you want to look at some previous results, you've got a few across here, and the pairs traded at the moment. There's your 8 main currencies. I don't worry about the exotics. And this is at the moment, technically the Swiss franc's still being traded, but once it's out, it'll be 0. So each pair will be involved twice. They're the pairs I'm trading, and I've just highlighted them on the so there should be 7 pairs highlighted on my list here. Other than that, it's all good. So just be careful as Great British Pound used. I'm going to be doing another video tonight. It's a bit of a different system altogether, and just keep your eyes out for it, because I'll be looking for a couple of traders, maybe 1, possibly 2 traders that can help me out develop and trade this live. But it'll be a commitment, and I'll explain more in the video later. But just keep your eyes peeled, and nothing's happening here. I can't change my chart, so All right, guys, thanks very much, as usual, and it's not repetitive, it's from the heart. I do thank anyone that's a part of the JAGfx group, and appreciate the interaction. Also get a lot of emails, which is fine, which is cool, and also to those that are members of the subscribe to the YouTube channel and make comments there too. It's all greatly appreciated. I really love the interaction with other traders, and I like hearing your questions. I'm going to try and do more of a FAQ, so I answer a lot of your questions on the website or in the Facebook group or something like that. Just so I get a lot of the same questions, that's all. But yeah, it is appreciated, and look out for this other video I do later tonight, hopefully, and be careful of the euro, or the Great British Pound news later today. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.